All right, boys, it's the season. Season on the line tonight at home against a wounded Green Bay Packers squad. Um, I feel pretty good about this game. I think we will win. I think that there are some things in our favor. I think the many issues that Green Bay is having on defense should mean that we can put up points. I think home field advantage is going to mean something. Hasn't meant a ton so far this year, but I think it will mean something. And I think we will win. We will get to 5-5, and then we'll have to see where things go from there. But all that said, there are a couple things. I understand that we're playing one of the best quarterbacks in the league, the best quarterback we played all year. I know Goff is having an incredible season. I know Rivers is really good, but to me, none of them are anywhere near as good as Aaron Rodgers. And the team that Aaron Rodgers has around him right now is not great, but even with that, I am aware of the fact that we are playing against Aaron Rodgers without much of a pass rush. We have one guy who consistently gets after the quarterback. We have Deion Jordan, who is actually not even 100% healthy right now, and even when he is healthy, his impact is hit or miss. And then we just have a bunch of guys who are okay. And I understand that Green Bay is going to put up points tonight if they execute. That's what it comes down to. So we have to keep up. I think we will. I think we'll win. But when you're talking about playing Aaron Rodgers, when you don't have much of a pass rush, there are things that can happen in a game that can swing things. A one play, one drive. So I'm not guaranteeing anything. I think we will win, though, because I have every reason to believe we will have no problems running the ball tonight. Carson is back. Fluker is back. We ran the ball fine last week without those guys, to be perfectly honest with you. So I expect, the three-headed monster we have at running back and the dominant run-blocking offensive line we have had over the past couple of months maybe to control this game on offense. We're going to put up points. Green Bay's secondary is beat up, so we should be able to make some plays in there. And I'm looking forward to a lot of points from this offense, and it leads to a victory. So those are my thoughts on this game. The question is, how much is it going to matter? Because obviously games like this matter only in the context of this season. So, I've said in a couple of my videos already that I think this team could be really good next year. I think we get a couple of guys. We have a good draft class. Some of the rookies get better. I think this team could be really good next year. But just talking about this year is, it's still interesting. There's still some stuff open. But, so don't get me wrong. Me saying this is not me saying that I'm done with this season, that I think this season is over. I think it probably will be if we lose tonight. But until that happens, that's not what I'm saying. Here, looking at this team, namely on offense, my concern is that we're doing just good enough to where Brian Schottenheimer is going to get another year, and we're going to get another year like this. And how can we make that work? Because, look, right now, the Seattle Seahawks are first in the league in rush attempts, even after what happened in weeks 1 and 2. Even after those first two games, we are number 1 in the league in pass attempts, and we are last in the league in we are first in the league in pass attempts and last in the league. Wow. We are first in the league in rush attempts and last in the league in pass attempts. Sorry. I don't know why that's so hard to get out. Just like we were in 2012. And 2012 was a pretty good season. We won 11 games and we won a playoff game. We didn't get the division because the 49ers were really good back then, but it was a good season. And if you compare 2012 to 2018, in that regard, the teams look very similar, but we're just not nearly as efficient and effective as we were. I know the stats on the ground look good these past couple of months. Almost 300 yards last week. We still lost, but we did rush for almost 300 yards last week. We had all those yards against the Cardinals, the first game against the Rams, the Lions. We've been, putting up big rushing numbers in terms of just the raw yardage, but if you dig down into the statistics, like some people have, the efficiency is not there. In 2012, we were top 5 in yards per carry. This year, we're barely top 10. Back in 2012, we were 7th in net yards adjusted. Now we're 16th. So we went from, top quarter to right in the middle. So we're doing some of the things that we want to do in terms of we're running the ball a lot, but we're just not doing it as well and as consistently and as effectively as we need to get to where we want to. So, I don't know. Can we take another year of this? Because, I'm watching these games, and early this year I was saying some stuff about Russell Wilson that was not earning me any fans, but now we're later in this season, and Wilson's put up phenomenal numbers the last several weeks. He has like 14 touchdowns and 1 interception over the last month and change or something. He's not turning the ball over. He's getting the ball out a little faster. He still panics a little bit when there's pressure. He takes a few sacks that he shouldn't be taking, but he is playing better. And the irony is now I have people in my comments telling me what I was saying a couple months ago, that this, this Russell Wilson thing is not headed in the direction that we need it to. And, I got some people in my comments from the video last week blaming him for the fumble, which I'm not going to do that, guys. I put that fumble on Dwayne Brown before I ever put it on Russell Wilson, but it is starting to get a little frustrating that we are asking relatively little of Russell Wilson right now, and he's not making those 1 or 2 extra plays in a game. Like, last week, I don't want to say he played bad. He obviously didn't. The touchdown to Lockett was great. He had 3 touchdowns. He only had the 1 turnover that, in my mind, was not really his fault. But I just look at our offense, and it almost looks remedial. It looks like we have a rookie quarterback out there. We're running the ball, running the ball, running the ball. Oh, it's 3rd and medium or 3rd and long. We got to pass the ball now, so we do. And it's not like he's playing bad, but if we're going to make things so easy and stripped down for Wilson, because right now the offense looks stripped down to me in terms of asking the quarterback to do stuff. I watch these games, and it just seems like we are leaning completely on the running game right now until we have to pass. I need Russell Wilson to be making more of those plays because, look, last week, good example, he played good. The running game piled up nearly 300 yards. A lot of that was on Wilson, I understand. And then we need that 4th and 10 conversion to a wide open Tyler Lockett on the sideline, and he just completely overthrows him. 2 weeks ago against the Chargers, the running game loses a couple of key guys. They still manage to grind out a little bit. The defense is holding on for dear life. I need that pick 6 to not happen. And I know he came back with 2 good drives at the end of the game that almost kept us in, but I need that pick 6 to not happen. You can go back and, look at other games. The first game against the Rams. We run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. If we're going to run the ball that effectively, I need my $20 million quarterback to make sure we kick that field goal late in the 4th quarter to take a lead. Not we're going backwards 30 yards and then we have to punt and then the game is just over. So, I'm just trying to figure out what the offense can do to get better, because it seems like we're going to be stuck with it, because I think that Pete Carroll has seen enough from Brian Schottenheimer to feel like he can be our guy going forward, and I don't like that, but I have to live with it. This is not the kind of offense I want to see in the NFL right now. This is not the kind of offense that I want the team that I root for to be utilizing when you have teams like the Chiefs and the Rams and even the Bears who look like they're playing a different sport. And obviously our offense is effective at some things, but having said that, when what we are good at stops working, it seems like we don't have a backup plan. The Rams game last week was a great example. Every time we got into a 3rd and pass situation, I said this in my video last week, every time we got into a 3rd and pass situation, Wilson got sacked. Seems like we just don't have a plan for when we can't run the ball anymore. And I watch these other teams, it's enough to make me furious. You watch what the Chiefs and the Rams are doing on offense, and then you watch our offense, It's not just that we're not as good. We're boring compared to those teams. And I'm not saying, we're doing everything wrong, but we could be doing a lot more things right. And I'm excited for tonight. I'm going to sit down and watch this game. I'm going to hope we do good. I'm going to hope we win, but I'm a little cynical about what this offense is ultimately going to be in, its best case under Schottenheimer, because you're going to be put in difficult situations as an NFL offense a lot, no matter how talented you are and how good your defense is or whatever. And right now, this offense doesn't seem to be responding that well to those difficult situations. All right, I'll see y'all after the game. If we lose tonight, then, we can all kind of probably start thinking about the future in terms of this season. So let's get this win, 5-5, and then we got to get on a run at the end. Peace out.